So I got asked in one of the comments about how polyglots maintain multiple languages. Even though I don't advertise myself as a polyglot online, I do speak a few languages, so I thought it would be nice to share my experience with this. Now, in my case, I don't really think that it's possible to maintain multiple languages at the same fluency level. And to explain this, I'll use an analogy, because for me, maintaining languages is like keeping your house clean. In an ideal world, everyone would love to have all their rooms in that house perfectly clean on a daily basis. But we know that that's not how it works, right? In fact, reality, it's a little closer to this. Sometimes you have more days where you can clean the kitchen and the bathroom and your bedroom and stuff. But some other days you'll be so busy that as soon as you come home, you'll see your clothes on the floor and a dirty toilet to clean and a messy bedroom, right? Now, usually when those kinds of situations arise, you'll think to yourself, oh, what a mess I am. I can't even keep my house clean. I can't do anything right. And you sort of start giving up on the thought of having a clean house. But let's think about this for a second. The obstacles that keep you from having a spotlessly clean house on a daily basis are exactly the same that keep you from having full fluency in all your languages. And it's exactly time and energy. Now, unfortunately, these resources are limited, and you won't have infinite hours and energy to dedicate to language learning, as well as to house cleaning. So what do people with a job do to maintain their house clean, but at the same time have a life and being able to work? If they can't keep their house spotlessly clean on a daily basis, they usually keep it somewhat clean. And to do that, they usually prioritize. And that's exactly what we as language learners need to do. If you have 5 or 6 foreign languages or even more, you'll need to start to prioritize and choose a few languages you'll like to keep on a daily basis and other languages that you'll need to keep on hold until you'll need them again. Now, I have the luck to work in the sort of cleaning industry of the language world, to keep the analogy. That is, I work with tourists on a daily basis, so I'll need to speak all of these 6 foreign languages that I speak on a daily basis. And that, of course, helps me to keep those languages going and keep them always active. But I know that for a lot of people, it's just not the case. So for the average learner, you'll need to prioritize. And how do you prioritize though? That's the question. Well, that's up to you, in my opinion. You choose the languages you want to work on, that you want to improve, at the expense of other languages that'll sort of be kept on hold until you study them up again. And to do that, and when you do that, you need to be psychologically aware that the languages that you're going to keep on hold are going to get rusty. So the next time you speak those languages, be ready for failure. Be ready for embarrassing moments and moments where you don't remember a word or you don't remember a grammar structure and you just need to keep going. That is absolutely normal. And don't think that when your language gets rusty that you've wasted time learning it, because that's absolutely not the case. In my opinion, learning any language to any degree is a beneficial thing. So don't let yourself down when you have those kinds of moments and just keep pushing. Of course, another good idea is to get to a comfortable level, preferably a conversational level or an intermediate to advanced level in a language, before you put it on hold and before you start maintaining other languages. And that's what I'm doing with Korean. I don't want to, study Korean until a upper beginner level and then go ahead and study another language, because it'll be harder for me to maintain what I've learned in Korean. On the other hand, if I study Korean until I get to a pretty good level, which for me, my sort of goal is a upper intermediate to advanced level, then it'll be a lot easier to maintain and pick it up again the next time. And this brings me to another point, which is active versus passive studying. To me, the difference between active and passive studying is the following. Active studying is something like saving words and carefully listening to stuff with the intention to understand it, while passive studying is something that you do passively, is like reading for pleasure or watching a video because you want to watch it, or listening to songs and stuff like that. Now let's all start by saying that to me it's impossible to actively study 5, 6, 7 languages on a daily basis because I would never do it. But it is possible to passively study 2 or 3 languages maybe on a daily basis. I usually do 2, but I don't really have a schedule for it. I just read and listen stuff I'm curious about in any language I speak. But anyways, it's always a good idea to get to that comfortable level in a language so that you can keep it and maintain it by reading and listening to stuff you're curious about, just leisurely in your free time. At the same time, output is also tremendously important for maintaining your languages. And as I said before, I have the luck of working with all my 6 languages every day, so I get to speak them on a daily basis. But if you don't have that sort of luck, you can always use, language exchange apps and stuff like that to write to native people and speak with them. So as you might have guessed, maintaining multiple languages isn't rocket science. It's just making sure that you keep engaging with languages on a daily basis. So to wrap up, because this was a pretty rambly kind of video, I know, these are the main aspects that you want to keep in consideration if you want to maintain your languages. First of all, if possible, make sure to reach a comfortable level in a language before switching to another one. Then secondly, you need to prioritize. So out of all the languages that you speak, pick just the ones that you would like to engage with on a daily basis and keep the other ones on hold until you need them. Thirdly, you'll need to be psychologically aware of the fact that when you pick those languages up again, they'll be rusty and you'll have lots of embarrassing moments. And lastly, consider passive studying as a strategy for your language maintenance. Now, we all know that output is really important for that as well, but for a lot of people, it's hard to find native speakers to talk to or to write to, and that requires a lot of energy and focus at the same time. But passive studying, reading something leisurely without worrying about saving words, you can do that every time and anywhere. So that's it for the video. Hopefully I gave you some insights, and if you liked it, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I also have an Instagram account where I'm starting to post like little tips and stuff like that, usually mainly link related, but language learning tips in general as well. So if you want, you can follow that account as well, and I'll see you in the next video.